First of all, let's excuse the empty room. It's my new office. We're going to talk about this MVP talk. And really, the media has been getting on my nerves. I'm back. Look, the only excuse that the media has been given why Lamar Jackson isn't in the talks is because of stats. Okay. Forget the stats. All right. Now, stats are important, but they're not the most important thing when it comes to the MVP candidate. Okay. Now, stats shouldn't dictate the MVP, especially when you got teams out here letting other teams run up 70 points on them. That's like somebody throwing for 300 plus yards against a team whose record signifies that they are not a top tier team. Okay. They're a losing team. And then versus a person that's throwing 250 yards against a top tier team, you think the first person is better than the second person because he got more yards? That's crazy. Do you think he's better? Because I don't. And let me start off by addressing the excuses of why the 49ers lost against the Ravens. Okay. And stick with me because the 49ers losing to the Ravens has something to do with the MVP frontrunner, too. People are saying that the 49ers beat themselves because they had more passing yards, more rushing yards, and longer time of possession, which really doesn't make sense because they lost by double digits. Same to say, hypothetically, if a team is making all the right decisions, running the best routes, hitting all their guys, and has a less time of possession, that they're worse because the other team had a better stats. Like, who cares? They lost. And if you really thought that the 49ers was going to beat the Ravens, you should have looked at past teams that the 49ers had close games against that the Ravens blew out. The Seahawks, relatively close, okay? But any given Sunday, even 2-10 teams will beat high caliber teams. And that happened twice this year. So the argument that teams beating themselves really needs to stop. You can say that about any NFL team. It's okay. They lost. It's fine. It's always next week. Back to topic. A week ago, the media was claiming that Brock Purdy was the front runner for MVP. Okay. Now that the Ravens beat the 49ers, they're saying it's definitely not Lamar, it's Christian McCaffrey. Okay. Which Christian McCaffrey is a good player. Okay. Two things. He has the most carries in the NFL, which means it was never Brock to be MVP in the first place, since Christian McCaffrey is way more valuable to the team. And you can see by the numbers, okay, he wouldn't be getting the ball as much if he wasn't valuable to the team. He's doing something, okay. He's leading the league in rushing yards too. So he's definitely doing something. All right. But if you look at his rushing yards and look at Lamar Jackson's rushing yards, okay, Lamar has more than half his rushing yards, Christian McCaffrey. Okay. So that's something to think about. All right. It's not all about stats. Okay. Who's making the biggest impact, not only on their team, but more than anybody in the NFL? That's what the question is. And the question is not who has the highest number on their stats. Okay. Not only is Lamar Jackson keeping up with passing yards with your favorite quarterback, he is also outrunning them and most of the running backs in the NFL. And that's not to say that that's all that matters. Numbers is not all that matters, okay? But Lamar Jackson is out here making a difference with his team and making a difference with outcomes of games that a lot of you didn't think they would win. Now, I'm not sitting up here saying that Lamar Jackson is 1,000% supposed to be the MVP. But what I'm saying is he should definitely be in the talks. At least top two. And he not two.